What's up, everyone? Welcome to the July 22nd edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. As a reminder, use the code AWESEMO when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have a full 13-game MLB slate tonight, or close to full, I guess I should say. Our first normal-sized slate since the All-Star break. So as usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays are taking on Nathan Avaldi tonight in Fenway Park. Avaldi is having a good season, striking out 25.4% of hitters with a 3.11 xFIP, but he has also allowed over 2 home runs per 9 innings. He's had issues with power this year, and we know that there's plenty of it in the Toronto lineup. The Blue Jays active roster has a 113 WRC plus and a 175 ISO this season. They're projected for about 5% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays are taking on Brad Keller tonight in Kansas City. It's supposed to be extremely hot in Kansas City, around 96 degrees, so the ball should carry. And Tampa Bay has one of the better matchups. Keller's not a terrible pitcher, but he does have a 4.14 xFIP this year, 16.4% strikeout percentage. And with this being, for most teams, the first game out of the All-Star break, we're getting the best pitcher available for most of these teams. So on a relative scale, Keller, who normally is kind of middle of the pack, is one of the weaker pitchers tonight. In addition to pitching in very favorable hitting weather. Tampa Bay projected for 9% aggregate ownership, but they also have an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and an 8% chance of being the top value stack. Their current roster has a 101 WRC plus and a 151 ISO this season. And number 1, the New York Yankees are taking on Tyler Wells tonight in Camden Yards. It's extremely hot in Baltimore as well, so we should see the ball carry. The Yankees are projected for about 5% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack, only about a 1% chance of being the top value stack. So you will have to find value elsewhere in your lineup, but if you can get to them, they are projected to go a bit underowned. Wells has struck out 17.2% of hitters with a 4.63 xFIP while allowing 1.05 home runs per 9 innings this year. The Yankees active roster leads all of baseball with a 122 WRC plus. They also have a 201 ISO. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of my tournament videos to use. That promo code is at the top of the screen. It's Adam MLB, and you'll receive 50% off any weekly Stokastic Plus package. This promo is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, use this promo. Get yourself 50% off any weekly package. It'll give you access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in this video. So again, Adam MLB at the top of the screen. Get yourself 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at 3 of the top tournament pitchers, this is another slate, and we've seen a lot of these recently where I fully expect to be heavy on the popular pitching and looking to spread out my exposures to offenses. So this isn't a spot where I'm going to recommend a bunch of low-owned pitchers because I don't expect that's what I'm going to play. Coming in at number 3, Shohei Ohtani, $9,000 price tag, taking on the Atlanta Braves. The Braves offense is good with a 111 WRC plus, but they also have a 25.3% strikeout percentage. Ohtani leads this entire slate with a 35.4% strikeout percentage this season. He also has an excellent 2.43 xFIP. He's projected for 29% ownership with a 21% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and a 13% chance of being a top 2 value. Number 2, Max Scherzer, $10,400, taking on the San Diego Padres. The Padres are still without Fernando Tatis, and their active roster has a 107 WRC plus and a 20.8% strikeout percentage. A lot of that WRC plus is driven by Manny Machado, however. So this is a team that individually has some weaker hitters that Scherzer should be able to take advantage of, particularly toward the bottom of the order. So far this year, Scherzer has struck out 34% of hitters with a 2.9 xFIP. He's projected for 33% ownership with a 25% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. And number 1, Corbin Burnes is taking on the Colorado Rockies tonight in Milwaukee. He's $10,200. He's projected for 46% ownership, but also has a 27% chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher, in addition to an 11% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. He has a 32.6% strikeout percentage and 2.82 xFIP so far this season. Outside of Coors Field, the Rockies' active roster has just an 82 WRC plus with a 21.4% strikeout percentage. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on tonight's slate: number 3, the Toronto Blue Jays; number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays; and number 1, the New York Yankees. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Shohei Ohtani; number 2, Max Scherzer; and number 1, Corbin Burnes.